Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to my reaction video to the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was unique among people in the American political scene. She was a Supreme Court Justice who became a cultural icon. There are action figures, there are beach towels, there was a comic book with her as a character, and she even had a nickname, the Notorious RBG. I mean, I even have a Funko Pop figurine of her. Um, and she was just a Supreme Court justice. She wasn't a president or a, a movie star or a sports hero. She was a Supreme Court justice. Uh, and she has that kind of cultural relevance and cultural standing that she's achieved this acclaim. Very much deserved. She, I believe, obviously set um, and left a mark on America that is going to be long lasting. She is referred to by some, I heard this comparison made last night. She is the women's rights Thurgood Marshall. She, obviously, Thurgood Marshall was an African American lawyer who worked for the NAACP and won many court cases for African American rights before serving on the Supreme Court. And Ruth Bader Ginsburg did the same thing for women's rights and making women a more equal part of this country, something everyone has benefited on. And her death is going to set off a titanic battle over the future of the Supreme Court. Um, Republicans are obviously going to try to rush through a nominee, and Democrats are going to have to fight like hell to prevent it. Republicans are going to go one of two options. They're either going to do it in the lame duck, or they're going to try to push it through before election day. Both are fraught with peril for the GOP, and both will be as infuriating for Democrats. Democrats need to make clear that they are willing to shut the Senate down completely if this nominee is chosen before the new presidential term begins on January 20th. Shut it down. Shut her down. If there's a spending bill that must pass, so be it. Republicans need to choose which is more important, paying federal workers or this Supreme Court pick. All indications are President Trump is going to make an announcement possibly as soon as the 21st or the 22nd. All sources say he wants to make an announcement before the 29th, which is the date of the first debate. Republicans, I think Democrats need to be clear with Republicans. If you force through this pick quickly, they are going to push for expanding the size of the court once they get into office. I would suggest thinking big at first, 6 seats, but settle for 2 to 4, with my hope being in the 4 range. This is going to be an epic battle. And people thought that the Brett Kavanaugh confirmation was a brawl. You ain't seen nothing yet. This is going to be probably the most contentious Supreme Court nomination ever. With the virus going on, and we have the fight for Black Lives Matter and other issues, and you add this in, boy, 2020 just got a lot wilder. My thoughts are with the Ginsburg family, where everyone's thoughts should be. But Justice Ginsburg wants us to fight. Her dying wish was that until a new president is installed, that her seat remain vacant. And I think her wish should be honored. I just think it would be an absolute tragedy if she is replaced by a jurist in a very haphazard, very rushed manner. And Trump's going to pound the pavement that Joe Biden should release a list of Supreme Court judges that he would appoint, and only from that list. That's not how it works, sir. Yes, you've done it, but that's because you've turned your Supreme Court and judge process over to the Federalist Society, a advocacy group. Joe Biden's not going to do that. I'm sure that Joe Biden has and his team have a list of people they would consider, but you don't release it. That's absurd. You feel people out. You listen to people in the Senate. You listen to your own legal team, and you arrive at a decision. So no, absolutely not. I will see you all tomorrow when we discuss some more Senate races. And Senate races are already important, and we're already going to be contentious. Boy, they just took on another new dynamic. Where do you stand on the Supreme Court issue? Has become a big issue in those races. I'll see you then.